But to get us started off this week, we are talking about Spies Like Us.
Spies Like Us. This movie is kind of interesting insofar as I know I've seen big chunks of it before, but man, is it also unfamiliar, but familiar at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like you. Yeah, I've seen like bits and pieces of it here and there, but I've never actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end. Um, it's kind of somewhat of a forgotten '80s comedy from John Landis, who, of course, we've reviewed a few John Landis movies here. We've done Animal House, Trading Places. Trying to think what else we did. Have we done Three Amigos? I don't think we did Three Amigos yet.
We haven't, and that would be next on the list, I would think.
Yeah, yeah. But he's also done like Blues Brothers. We did
Yep.
Blues Brothers. But he's also done other stuff like Coming to America and did one of the segments of the Twilight Zone movie. Just
Was it the one with the chop?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. So one of the stars of the movie is Chevy Chase, and I don't know if it was this movie or I think it was Three Amigos when Chevy Chase. Of course, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Chevy Chase is a bit of an asshole and difficult to work with, and I guess he really ticked off John Landis, and Landis said to Chevy Chase, I'm going to kill you. And Chevy Chase's response was, "With what? There are no helicopters around."
Oh, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not how you make friends and influence people.
No, it is not. But to get to this movie, actually, another quick note. Apparently, I heard somewhere that this was one of the movies that Dan Aykroyd, he was one of the writers on the movie. He was also the other star. He actually wrote this movie for himself and John Belushi.
Oh,
yeah, and of course, as most of you know, John Belushi passed away a couple of years before this movie came out, and so he couldn't do it with Belushi, much like with Ghostbusters.
In this case, I'm going to be a little heretical and say that I think Chevy Chase actually fits this character better.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and I think although I think if Belushi had been in it, the character would have been completely different. It would have been written for him.
Right, like who knows how much of what was going on was Chevy doing little improvs.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to get to this movie, of course, it's in the mid '80s, the height of the Cold War, and so the CIA is trying to get to these nukes that are hidden in this mountain range in the Soviet Union, and of course, every time they try to send agents out there, the KGB already knows that they're coming and kills them. So they're like, okay, well, what do we do? So these CIA guys and the military guys come up with a plan that, okay, well, why don't we send 2 agents and then we'll send 2 other agents in who are going to be decoys. But the problem is agents like that don't grow on trees, and it's very expensive to train them. So what they do is they just pluck a couple of just nobody idiots or people they think they're idiots and train them to be spies, or quote unquote train them to be spies and send them on the mission. And that's Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase.
Yeah, and they're definitely playing into their comedic wheelhouses. Dan Aykroyd is like the power of turbo autism. Is the only way I could think of to describe his character.
Which is pretty much every character he plays in every movie.
Yes, but this is even more so. Like he's just so utterly on the spectrum, so utterly like he knows everything about everything.
Yeah.
just casually. Like the only they show him in like his first scene is he ends up using a decoder ring from a cereal box to help him decode Russian transmissions.
Yeah.
And his boss, who was very tired of his show of like him showing off his brains all the time, goes, "Run it through the machine." I did.
Yeah.
It was right,
Yeah.
or something along those lines.
Yeah. And yes, and then Chevy Chase's character, he works in the State Department. Very
The key detail. The reason he looks like an idiot is because his boss didn't tell him that he would put him up for this agent's test until the exact day before the test. So even
Yeah.
he needs time to prepare for properly for it.
right, yes, because Chevy Chase's character is, he's this low level guy working in the State Department, and the only reason like he got his job is because his father and grandfather were all State Department guys. And so he's taking the test as well. And of course, his buddy that's sitting across from him is like, it's like 500 questions and you only have 2 hours to complete the test. And he's like, I'll be fine. And of course, the reason he says that is because he goes in with a foolproof, quote unquote, plan to cheat.
Yes, in a very obvious way.
Yeah. Yeah, and the test proctor, by the way, is played by Frank Oz.
Okay, I didn't recognize him without the Muppet.
Yes, without Miss Piggy or Fozzie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because of their antics during the test, because Chevy's like asking him Aykroyd for help. He's like, "What does KGB stand for?"
Yeah, and so of course they're plucked out. Their training is complete ridiculosity.
Yes.
Not just ridiculousness, ridiculosity, a word that isn't even a word, because they had them face ninjas. They put them in like what must be like asbestos suits and roast them with flamethrowers. Like they are just having complete fun with these guys.
Oh yeah, and they put them in the G-force tester, and their faces get all.
Yeah. So then they're flown out to Pakistan, and so I think this is one of Chevy Chase's funnier roles. Like I was just giggling the whole time. Like
Yeah.
they land in this Pakistani village, and he's nervous, so he pulls out Pashto to English book, and like he says, if you spare me, you may use my friend's head as a soccer ball.
Yeah. And they're all grabbing his head, like, like, what are they doing? Oh, that's just their way of saying hello.
So from there, you just have like a series of misadventures. And what really struck me as this is more of a road to comedy than Ishtar was.
Yeah. Yes, and that point is driven home by the very random Bob Hope cameo.
Yep. Because like they just have to go through a variety of random situations. Like at one point, they show up at a Doctors Without Borders type thing, and they pretend to be these two doctors who they were expecting.
Yeah.
Which leads to the famous doctor, 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 doctor scene.
Yes. And one of the doctors was actually played by Terry Gilliam.
Okay.
And yeah, and of course, but they find out that the two of the doctors in there are actually the spies. They're the real spy team that's in there, and one of them is a woman played by Donna Dixon, who was in Wayne's World. She was Garth's the dream girl at the donut shop. And after I think probably after this movie was when she and Dan Aykroyd got married.
One thing I will say that this was like the scene where he keeps trying to hit on her, or Chase keeps trying to hit on her.
Yeah.
Like throughout, like Okay, I can believe that some random woman would find Chevy Chase at least like somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
Belushi, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot harder. Although, Carrie Fisher was, trying to kill him in Blues Brothers because he jilted her. So I mean,
Yep.
it's possible. I mean, that's
I'm not saying
and
it's not impossible. It's just it's less
improbable. Yeah, it's
probable.
less
Yeah.
believable. Yeah,
Yeah. So, like the thing with these comedies is, I always feel like we don't necessarily need to do a blow by blow of the plot
yeah,
because, like, it would just be describing humorous incidents and then chuckling to each other.
yeah,
Um, like if we really are talking deeply about the plot of a comedy, it's probably a comedy that didn't work, and we're trying to explain why the premise didn't fit.
yeah.
Um, like this is one of the better Landis comedies that I've seen, in my opinion. Although I do have the heretical opinion of not being the biggest fan of Animal House, but
Mm,
um,
mm. I won't hold that against you.
uh, I'm amazed that you still associate with me after I admitted that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I will say that there is a good deal of intelligence to the overall plot, which that's the thing about Aykroyd, is that whatever else you want to say about him, uh, his movies usually hold together pretty well. Like
Yeah.
just for example, at first it looks like it's just a comedic thing where they're asked to perform a surgery when they're doing Doctors Without Borders, but you realize that the reason that the quote unquote lady doctor would ask them to perform the surgery was because she's an agent. She can't perform the surgery.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
So if she actually believes that they're doctors at the time, then uh, like
Yeah.
from her perspective, phew, dodged a close one there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. I mean, this was definitely one of the better comedies, especially with Chevy Chase. Because like you, I'm not the biggest fan of Chevy Chase, but I think why it works here is because he's got Aykroyd to play off of. He's fine if he's got somebody else to play off of. When it's just him, like in Fletch, it's like,
Yeah, right.
eh.
Well, he's great when he's has someone to play off of. He also works really well when you um, give the character a scenario where his quips kind of make sense. Like that was my big complaint with Fletch, was that he kept doing these things that would just end his mission if somebody actually was paying attention.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas here, it's like, okay, the jokes usually are sensibly placed, where it's like, okay, you can see why he's hitting on this woman, even though it has nothing to do with the mission or getting out alive, even.
Right. Yeah.
So I would say this is a recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the again, like I like this one quite a bit just because um, I tend to like comedies where there's like a driving goal behind it.
Yeah.
And so in this case, having the firm mission helps keep the nonsense in a direction. Like they can't hang around too much.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the opposite of that approach would be something like Joe Dirt, where it's just, oh, this is the life and times of this guy.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Yeah, yeah, I definitely recommend it. Currently on Tubi.
Which means you will have to deal with the occasional commercial, but it's free.
Yes. Yeah.